Next on Deck with Tim Black.
It's Black History Month today and this month, but it could be Hispanic History Month, Women's History Month, all these diverse people.
There it is. Why does Abby feel like she got to bring up all these other groups that she talk about us? Cowards! Jemele Hill was on CNN with Abby Phillip. They were talking about the Democrats, and they had a panel discussion. Let's weigh into this conversation. It's going to get heated.
Mentioned at the same time that there were going to be statues of Kobe Bryant and Muhammad Ali. So it just seems a little hypocritical that you would be doing everything in your power to sort of outlaw the teachings of what, say, a Muhammad Ali stood for. Like, are you going to tell people that he stood against war, that he stood against these very progressive civil rights issues? That doesn't seem to be the part of it. And what I noticed there from that clip is that he had to read letter by letter about what these people what these great Americans have done in terms of progress for our country, because it's not something he's familiar with and not something that it's now.
Come here, look at this right. Jemele Hill's complaining that the Republican president is doing a symbolic gesture for black people. See what I'm saying, y'all? See what I'm saying? Like, how hypocritical can you be? Now, I can say, yeah, that was symbolic. This whole thing is symbolic, doing these statues. That's a very symbolic gesture. That's what people do on Black History Month, though, right? It's a symbolic thing. That's what they do. But you can't say that, Jemele Hill, because I was saying it when it was Democrats doing that too. Unlike you, when they wanted to put Harriet Tubman on the money, I was like, you don't need to be selling her again. Get out of here. When they wanted to give us Juneteenth, I was like, nah, I don't want no damn Juneteenth. When I saw the Black Caucus or Maxine Waters and the rest of them and Nancy Pelosi at the rotunda wearing kitsy cloth taking a knee for George Floyd, I said, get that out of here. Get that symbolic garbage out of here. Give us a black hate, anti-hate crime bill. I don't remember you saying it. I don't remember you putting pen to paper and roasting the Democratic Party for this symbolic bullshit. We all know the Democratic Party is the king of symbolic justice towards black people. That's all they do. Truth be told, DEI is a symbolic gesture. To us anyway, maybe not to the LGBTQIA people, maybe that's to the dreamers and the migrants, but it's damn sure. Maybe that's a white one, but it's damn sure symbolic to us. But she can sit up here with a straight face. And that brother sitting there ain't gonna let us say that bullshit. He gonna sit here and allow Jemele Hill to say Republicans. Man, Republicans don't make a gesture at all, and you know it. Donald Trump took a page out the Democratic playbook and did it better than the Democrats do it, and you know it. So eat it. He took a page out of Joe Biden's playbook. Joe Biden could have put together this statue, okay? Because Trump's whole thing is we want to embrace the Americanism, the American nationalism, that patriotic shit, you know? He's being on brand. Now you're going to say because he was reading. You know, Trump, when he start talking, he got to read, or he'll be talking about all types of stuff. He end up roasting you. He'll start going down a list of people that he want to roast if you let him go off script. He had to read. That's out of respect. The fact that Trump read, to me, shows a huge amount of respect from Trump, because Trump can just get up there like me and freestyle. He's a Jay-Z, a political commentary on the stuff. He would just get up and make it up, whatever comes to mind. He would just rolling lyrics off the top of his dome. But unlike Jay-Z, he has sent a lot of strains a lot of different ways. A lot of the most controversial comments from Trump came from him with no script. The fact that Trump is on Black History Month with black people talking black stuff and talking about monuments to black people, somehow you're going to make that a negative. When your party do it all the damn time. Your party is on that same BS all the time. I'm not saying it's that good. We need to talk about tangibles. We need to talk about what he's going to do. What's the momentum? Okay, fantastic, Trump. Now, what are some policies we can enact? What are some other plans you have policy-wise for the black community? Because this is great. I'm not knocking this. Great. Black people can go to a place, there's white people there. It's not just a black place, it's a place with American heroes. He's including black people in the American heroes field, whatever, right? It's not just for black people. He was very specific when he said it. But let me stop. Let me give Jemele Hill a chance to say more. But off the top, I don't like it so far. It seems condescending and bullshit and very hypocritical of any Democratic person, any person that's in line with the Democratic Party to start talking about symbolism. That's pathetic. That is gaslighting to the 1800th power. This is biblical proportions of gaslighting for you to say that when the Democratic Party is the home of symbolism, particularly when it comes to black women.
About what these people, what these great Americans have done in terms of progress for our country, because it's not something he's familiar with and not something that is natural for him. So I consider this to be an insult, a slap in the face, and frankly, all the people that attended this, look, I guess God bless you if you've never been to the White House and maybe you looked at it as some kind of great experience.
Have you ever been to the White House? I guess you were there under Obama. Why did you think the trip with Obama was such a great experience? Why is that good? What did Obama do for black people in particular? What did Biden do? How does that advance us? And before you stop throwing up lame symbolic things that they did, recognize that the wealth gap has widened. Recognize that our black children are still grossly operating underneath the benchmark for math and sciences and reading. Recognize that. Recognize we're still 3 times more likely to be incarcerated. Recognize our women still dying 3 times the rate of white women when it comes to our women giving childbirth. So recognize all those things before you start naming stuff, because evidently, if what Obama was doing was so great and what Biden was doing was so great, why is it didn't change the condition of black people? What good is what you're doing? If you work out every day, it don't matter if you stay fat and unhealthy. You obviously, what you're doing isn't working, even though you are working. So, yeah.
But everything this president has stood for and done in the last decade or so has been a complete rejection.
This sounds like the Jasmine Crockett School of Political Commentary. Everything this president has done. You mean when he gave money to HBCUs and made it permanent? That's nothing. When he put the First Step Act, he signed it. That was nothing. When he signed the stimulus packages that no one wants to give him credit for because it was passed through Congress, but then he could have vetoed it. He didn't. So everything he's done, he's only been in office 4 years and 1 month. What do you mean the last 10 years what he's done? He's only been in office for 4 years and 1 month. Oh, you counting time he wasn't even in office. Oh, okay, I get it.
Of what Black history is.
Abel, how do you square what Jemele is saying there, that this White House, this administration has spent so much time, especially in the last month, denigrating diversity as even a concept? And actually, let me just go ahead and play this because I think it's instructive to hear exactly what they have been saying. Listen.
I think the single dumbest phrase in military history is our diversity is our strength.
My son is in a public school. He takes a class called African American History. If you're running an African American history class, could you perhaps be in violation of this court order, of this executive order?
I'm not quite certain, and I'd like to look into it further and get back to you on that.
You can have DEI in water coolers and universities. I disagree with that. But lives aren't impacted with DEI at universities. It is impacted here. I just want the best and the brightest, keeping Americans safe.
Okay, so you say that, and then you throw a Black History Month event, and people are supposed to then say, well, it all doesn't matter.
Oh, God. Abby Phillip once again is comparing DEI to black people. See, I know I've been in this argument the last couple of months because I have notable black people that keep saying the same thing, too. They keep equating black people to DEI. Once again, DEI consists of veterans of every color. It consists of LGBTQIA people of every color. It consists of people who are disabled, differently able people of every color. DEI is everything except white, straight, heterosexual men. Okay? Okay. It's not black people. Black people are black people. Black people are not African Americans. I'm talking about black Americans. Different thing. If you come over here from Nigeria 2 years ago, you're not a black American. You are a Nigerian American. Okay? Let's be real. Let's be real. What Abby's doing is the same thing that a bunch of Democrats have been doing, because the only way they have an opportunity here. Once again, this right here, this segment is only being done because what Trump did was effective. And the only way that you can combat an effective day of Donald Trump is to go at him racially. That's all they could do. If Trump wouldn't have did something for Black History Month, they would say he didn't do nothing for Black History Month. He don't care about black people. He do something for Black History Month, and you go, how dare he do something on Black History Month? That's disrespectful. Because it's all a game. This is a game that they play. But Abby Phillip doesn't understand that she is insulting a whole bunch of reviewers, because the new black media has been telling black people the truth. DEI don't mean black. If DEI meant black, they would have got rid of it 5 years ago. That's how you know DEI don't mean black, because if DEI helped black people specifically, it wouldn't exist. Affirmative action did not help black people specifically. White women were the primary beneficiary of affirmative action. We got less help with DEI than we did with affirmative action. We barely cracked the top 5 with DEI. I don't even think we made the top 5. But that up to Abby. Abby's going to make this a primary issue. Because Trump, and look, and I'm going to say this, guys. I'm going to say it. Tell them I said it. When the Democratic Party decided to group everybody with black people, LGBTQIA, hell, there are gay and trans and bi people that don't want their rights in their fight for rights commingled with trans and the people with the floating genders and all. They don't want that. They want that. People have written me and told me this. Hey, we like that Trump separated the genders from the orientations. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. When the Democrats fuse together black people with all these groups, using us as the currency to get it done, they hurt black people. This type of rhetoric, this type of nonsense, I want you to understand, this hurts black people. White Americans, except for the most Bull Connor supreme team racists, the big meat of racism, except for the big meats of racism, the top echelon of racist, most white people will acknowledge that black Americans have got a bad deal, a raw deal in America. And then you go and you fuse us with all these other people that people do not feel that way about. It's hard to feel that a white man who just happens to be gay has gotten a raw deal, right? Kevin Spacey get a raw deal. I mean, he got screwed over maybe in Hollywood because of whatever happened with the allegations, but his life has not been harder because he's gay. But you fuse all these groups with black people, all you did was weigh down and complicate. And now, when they push back, they're pushing back on black people. And that was their strategy, folks. You got to understand. Oh, look, this is important for you to get this. When the Democratic Party did this, they used black people to help other groups, hoping their plan was, we'll be able to get it done because they're going to have to push back on black people. And that's going to make them be seen as racist. And then Trump came. And he says, you've been calling me racist for 10 years. Who gives a shit now? It don't work no more. So the Democratic Party created this. And these people perpetuate it. Then they turn around and say, oh, y'all say, when y'all say welcome, when y'all say DEI, you mean black. When the people that wrote the legislation, the people that have complained about this time and time again, they've been very specific. very specific about what DEI means. Just the term diversity itself obviously don't mean black, because black is black and diverse means a lot of different people. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I'll play a little bit more of this video before I take a dump on the rest of it, but I want you to understand how diabolical the Democratic Party has been on this, how lame it has been a talking point of people like Abby Phillip, Jemele Hill, and many others. It has hurt black people that they have diluted our claims and forced our issues be the equivalent of so many other groups.
He really does care about the history of this country, which includes people. It's Black History Month today and this month, but it could be Hispanic History Month, Women's History Month, all these diverse people.
There it is. There it is. That's it. There it is. Why are you talking about Hispanics on Black History Month? I don't think Hispanic people be talking about black people doing Hispanic History Month. I don't think gay power parades be talking about black people's struggles. I don't think Asian Awareness Month or Asian AAPI, I think it is, Pacific Islanders, I don't think they'd be sitting around talking about black people. Why does Abby feel like she got to bring up all these other groups that she talk about us? Cowards. Cowards. Folks, if you can't look, if you can't see it, you can't see it. If you want to allow this to happen without pushing back, you're a part of the problem. Here on the Tim Black Show, it is my job to say the raw truth America needs to hear. My only other mission is to get black people out of the burning house that's called the Democratic Party. And this house is on fire for a lot of reasons, and one of them is this nonsense, this insulting, degrading of black people. We have earned the right to be seen as a separate entity from all these other groups.